Welcome back, X Nation. Racer X here, and I have got a pretty fun video planned for you today. Yes, it is another 60 to 130 test, but this time it's going to be Mopar on Mopar crime. You can see behind me I do have Mrs. X's 2019 Challenger Scatpack Shaker, and of course my good buddy Pete. He's on his way, and he has a Scatpack, a wide-body Charger, just beautiful, indigo blue. Absolutely love that car. And today we will find out from 60 to 130, really who the faster car is. So it should be a very, very interesting test. Obviously, we know this car is lighter. The Charger is more aerodynamic. So who's going to come out on top? We will find out. We got the 1,000 horsepower helmet. God. All right, well, guess what? Look who we found. It is my buddy Pete. He's got his car obviously right over here. How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, man. So how's the car driving?
Great.
I love that color, man. So what a good looking car. So how long have you owned it now?
Late August?
So it's a 2020 though, right?
Yep.
Okay, so your experience so far, so you've had it for what, 6 months?
Yep.
So, and you got my exhaust on it. So what are you thinking of the car so far in terms of driving experience? Would you recommend it to somebody?
Yeah, I mean...
You said yeah.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I couldn't have asked for more.
Yeah.
Especially coming, from a four-cylinder. It handles well. It sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm in love with the car.
Heck yeah, man. What's not to love?
Right.
I have to admit that looking at both of these two cars right next to each other, boy, I mean, what a couple of beautiful Mopar specimens. Now, as we talk a little bit more about these cars, so which one really has the advantage? Well, as I mentioned, I think this one is really the more aerodynamic of the two, maybe even with the wide body. You can see the front of the Challenger kind of grabs a lot of air, but you're looking at a 150-pound weight advantage for this car. This car comes in at like 42, 30, somewhere in there, and this one is right at that 43, 85 range. So we'll call it 150 pounds, but today we'll have the same driver against, the same exact stretch of road, all of that good stuff. So the comparison should be great. I do have to admit, I really love the wide body Charger. And of course, he is going to have an advantage when it comes to the wheels. I do want to mention this really quick. Obviously, you do get the 305 all seasons on the back of the wide body cars. Now, because it is a 60 to 130 test, I don't suspect that spinning will be any sort of an issue on this test. Now, Mrs. X's car does have that really awesome X-Mod exhaust from MagnaFlow. As you can see it right there, carbon fiber tips, all that good stuff. And as we've shown on the dyno, it adds just a little bit of power. Not a whole lot, but there's some power there. Now, you say, well, Racer X, that is an advantage over the Charger, but Pete is actually running my exhaust off of my Hellcat. As we know, I have an X-Mod on my Hellcat now, but he's actually got the tunnel ram directly off of my Hellcat. So I don't suspect there's going to really be any advantage when it comes to power. These cars both have aftermarket exhausts on them. Other than that, they're pretty much stock. All right, so I am actually aboard the 2020 Charger Scatpack Widebody. I absolutely love the way these cars drive. So for the purposes of this test, we will once again be using the draggy. We got to keep everything really even between the two cars. Same driver, same exact stretch of road, and this tool is very, very accurate. It measures slope, it measures pretty much everything in terms of incremental speed. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an average. So we're going to take 3 runs at this from 60 to 130. We're going to average all 3 runs on both cars, and we'll see who the faster car really is. It should be really interesting. All right, draggy's up and running. So 60 to 130, this is run 1 in the Scatpack Charger, and should be pretty interesting. Let's see what happens. Here we go, we're cooking. Should be good. Woo, she's moving. That's all she wrote. That was a 12.56 on run 1 from the Charger Scatpack Widebody. Not too shabby.
30. 60.
Okay, so on run 2, that was a 12.40. So really solid work out of the Charger Scat Pack. Let's go ahead with the last run 3, and then we'll get our average. All right, last run in the Charger Scat Pack. Let's see what happens. Here we go. She's off. It's running good. Oh, she's kicking. She wrote. All right, that one was actually a 12.17, so that was the best of the 3 runs on the 3rd and final run. So solid work out of the Scatpack Charger. All right, so the verdict is in. That is 3 runs in the Charger Scat Pack, and it was running really, really solid. I have to admit, the car got a little bit faster with each run, which is kind of weird because you would think it would be the opposite, being that it builds heat, but not the case today. So a 12.56, a 12.40, and a 12.17. So that makes the average for all 3 runs a 12.37. Very solid work out of the Charger Scat Pack Widebody. So now let's go try it in the Challenger and see what happens. All right, I am now aboard the 2019 Challenger Scatpack Shaker. I have to admit, I'm actually really impressed with Pete's wide-body Charger Scat Pack. That thing kind of threw down a pretty solid number in my mind. I mean, a 12.17 on the last pass. That's better. It exceeded my expectations. We'll put it that way. So we're going to go ahead with run 1 here on the Challenger. See how things stack up. And we're off. That was a 12.41 on that first one. So, oh man, I have a feeling this test is going to be unbelievably close. Time for round 2.
60. Quarter mile. 130.
All right, so run 2 was a 12.17. That was pretty solid there. Looks like the run was valid. So, wow, that means it really all comes down to this last pass. It's going to be very close. So here we go with run 3 in the Challenger Scat Pack. And we're off. She's running good. Oh, she's stacking the mile an hour. Almost there. Wow. Car's running good. Time for the verdict. Okay, so that one, the car just went all sorts of freak mode on that. I really kind of punched it hard coming up over the hill, and it was a completely valid run, and that one was in 11.62, which is just kind of a freakish performance. Yeah, completely valid. So that was a much faster pass out of the car on that one. So really an interesting result. All right, guys, so sorry about the sun. It's kind of in my face right now, but we did get 3 successful pulls in the 2019 Challenger Scat Pack, and we ended up with a 12.41, a 12.17, and the last run was actually like beast mode. It went a 11.62, which that's really what set the cars apart, was that last run. So what it ended up being was an average of, let's see here, the average was a 12.06. So that was actually, like I said, it was a much better run on the last run. So, well, so what do you think? You guys got to see the car run like at high speed. What'd you think about it?
Sounds phenomenal.
Well, which one? So between the Charger and the Challenger, which one did you like the sound of better? You got to be objective about this because that's your car.
Yeah. All around sounds really good, but the X-Mod sounds
You like
fantastic.
You like that X mod?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. So for those of you thinking about getting the X mod, there it is. So here's the verdict, Pete. We ended up with a 33, right? A 1233 was our average in your car, which is fantastic. Mrs. X's car kind of went a little bit beast mode on there and ended up averaging like a what was it? A 1206, I think. I'm sorry, yeah, 1206, I think was the average on that. So about a 2.5 tenth difference. So was that what you were expecting?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, the car's heavier, right? We talked about that.
Yep.
And then, of course, with the wide body on there, we know that adds a little bit of drag to the car, right? So especially at high speed, it may affect it. But you have to admit, though, like this car ran really good.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, there you have it. So the Challenger actually won this round by about 2.5 tenths, mostly because of that last pass. It really just made a heck of a pass on the last one. But kudos to Pete, not only for letting me use his car, but just how the car performed. The thing performed fantastic. And, of course, Mrs. X's car, as we know, a little bit of a freak in terms of how that car performs sometimes. So a really fun test. Challenger won on this one. But anyway, who knows if it was a non-wide body car, if the result would have been any different. I'm guessing it would have still been pretty darn close to what the results were here. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. It's been a fun one. I'll catch you on the next one. So until then, Racer X.